So the game starts out with a brief history of gaming shown through some spectacular FMV. They want to let you know right away that assault rigs means business and is the final destination for video games. No more of that kiddie stuff. They're beyond even virtual reality, which we see here turns out to be not that great. The game takes place in a future where real sports have been overtaken in favor of virtual sports, the most popular of which is assault rigs, a tank simulator where combatants are placed inside pods and are then engaged in hyper-futuristic combat within a virtual environment for heaps of dirty cash. So says the back of the game's case. So basically, the developers of this game, Psygnosis, kind of predicted esports. I honestly kind of like this intro though. I mean, they went all in here. It's kind of like Tron with tanks or something. Anyway, so the game has two modes of play, single player and two player. I'll get into the two-player mode in a bit, but first, let's look at this futuristic simulation, shall we? You're able to choose from 3 different types of tanks. One will be slow and powerful, one will be fast and weak, and of course, one in the middle. So, the game kinda plays something like Duke Nukem 3D crossed with Twisted Metal, with a little Marble Madness sprinkled on top for a unique experience that's kinda hard to describe. You make your way around maze-like stages searching for gems. Once you collect all the gems, you unlock the exit, which takes you to the next level. Along the way, you'll encounter enemy tanks, flying sentry units, turrets, and missile silos. You'll also get an array of weapon pickups as well. Homing and guided missiles, sentry bots, railguns, etc. And as you progress through each level, you'll see a gradual increased difficulty in maze structure and enemy units. Right away though, the first thing I noticed is a problem with controls. This thing is crazy hard to steer, and time spent with the game really doesn't help much either. Even after an hour or so of playing, I still often found myself having difficulty steering. The directional controls are extremely sensitive, and I always found it hard to stop and or aim where I wanted to, which quite often resulted in falling off platforms or missing enemies. Normally, falling off platforms to lower areas wouldn't be too big a deal because I would just find my way back up again, but in this game, enemies respawn after a very short amount of time, so backtracking is a total hassle, especially if you've exhausted all of your special ammo the first go-round. And no, there's no option in this game to alter the sensitivity, you're stuck with what they give you. The gems can sometimes be hard to find, and it can become frustrating when you get all the way to the exit only to realize you're 1 gem short and have no idea where you may have missed it along the way. You then have to aimlessly wander around until you find it, fighting through respawning enemies as you go. I died a lot doing this, and it really sucks because when you die, you must restart the level from scratch. Now, I don't have a problem with that type of old school punishment when I die or run out of time in a game. I'm not a baby, I can handle it. But when it's due to poor design, it's quite irritating. Enemies can be placed in spots where you don't see them until they're right in your face, like around corners or at the top of lifts, often making avoidance impossible. And the graphics don't help much at all, as enemies will sometimes blend with environments and you'll just be getting hit without knowing where the shots are coming from. And the problem with the graphics doesn't end there. The polygonal walls are choppy, and you can often see right through them, or they appear as though they weren't placed correctly. Clipping was something that occurred often, like I'd be in one area and just pop through the wall and not know where I am. And to make matters worse, there's no mini-map on the head-up display or even a map that can be pulled out via menu, so getting around levels is nearly impossible since everything looks the same in most cases. You have the option of changing the camera to an overhead view, but it doesn't help much. In a lot of levels, I would find the exit, be a gem or two short, go looking for them, find them, and then run out of time trying to find my way back to the exit, then be forced to completely restart the level. Ugh. I see what this game was going for, and at the time, a lot of the faults that this game faces may have gone unnoticed, but we have the luxury of hindsight, and man, this game does not age well. Which reminds me, I almost forgot to talk about the 2-player mode. You want to talk about faults? There's no split screen mode in this game. Instead, they require you to use the PlayStation link cable, something most common gamers aren't even aware of. So playing with another person requires 2 systems, 2 copies of the game, and 2 televisions. Screw that. Go get your own second television, Assault Rigs. I feel like this game mocks me as I'm playing it. You get this stupid announcer often asking, "Are you having fun?" No, I'm not. And what the hell is up with this music? You know, I love janky old games that are fun, but this game is not fun. It's just janky. It's like torture. And honestly, if this is the future of entertainment, and it does replace live sports, I feel really bad for my grandkids. You can just go ahead and insert any Idiocracy joke you want here. Assault Rigs is a classic example of a great concept with poor execution. I want to like this game. The concept is cool, but it just seems like the development was rushed or something, like as if they didn't take the time to test out the gameplay enough and just pushed it out the door for a quick buck. I don't think I'd suggest this game to anyone unless they can get it for just a few bucks. And even then, I mean, I can think of a lot of things I'd rather spend my $3 on.